Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforLove.com. If you're like most of the members of our GPS for Love community, you're wondering, how do you know if you pick a guy who's the right partner, the kind of guy that will give you that relationship that you really desire and you know you deserve? Well, today's question comes from Christina, one of the members of our community. And Christina says, hey, Joe, thank you so much for your videos. I really enjoy watching them. I just have a quick question. What does it mean exactly to be committed to your partner's growth? What kind of gestures or attitudes does that involve? Or does it simply mean to give them the freedom to do everything they want? Thanks. I look forward to your answer. Well, Christina, first of all, I want to address that when a partner is committed to your growth and vice versa, that doesn't mean you give them the freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. It's what I call a license for hedonism. Okay? That doesn't mean, you know what, I support you in your growth, so you can do whatever you want, even if it affects me adversely. That's not what this is about. It's because you have needs, you have desires. So your needs and desires always have to be met. So this doesn't mean that allowing a guy can, he can do whatever he wants. That being said, it's about looking at a relationship kind of like a tag team. If you ever see championship wrestling, it's where two people are working together to get through this thing called life in the happiest, most enjoyable way. That's the kind of the way that I look at it. So if you understand that, you need to know that there are going to be times where what's important to you or things that you're struggling with take priority. And so your partner needs to learn how to support you and how to have your back during those times. And there are going to be times where it works the opposite way, where there are things going on in his world where he needs your support. And so if you study life, if you study anything in nature, it's always in a state of either where it's growing or it's dying and decaying. And so human beings and relationships are these living, breathing entities, and we're designed to grow as individuals and as a couple. And that's one of the reasons many marriages and relationships fail, because they work really hard to get each other, and then they get married, or then they get into the relationship, and they get comfortable. Call it the fat and lazy syndrome. Okay, I got him, everything's great, now I don't have to do anything. So all those things that you did in the beginning, you stop doing. All those things that he did in the beginning, he stops doing. You take the other person for granted. And what happens is the relationship stops growing. Or what happens as an individual is they stop growing themselves. They stop reaching for their goals. They stop going for their aspirations. And they settle in their lives. And then ultimately, that affects them personally. And then that ultimately filters into a relationship. So that's why it's so important to understand that there are reasons why happy and successful people have great relationships. It's because they know what it takes. They continue to grow as individuals and as a couple. So I'm going to give you some insight. There are 3 signs that will let you know that a guy is really committed to your growth. And the first sign is that he knows when to sacrifice. Okay, a relationship is a constant give and take. And so a real man knows that, you know what, hey, babe, right now, what's going on in your world is really important. So I need to put my needs, my desires on the back burner. It happens a lot in my relationship. My wife has to take care of 3 kids. She has her responsibility. And sometimes I need to say, you know what? You're stressed out. Don't cook dinner tonight. You know what? Let's order in. Okay? It's not about putting more demands. It's about making that person's life easier, even if sometimes it adversely affects you. So that's the first sign, is you need to know how to sacrifice. Okay, the second one is that he encourages and supports you. This is the old, he's got your back. He's there for you. He wants you to be a better you. He wants to support you because he knows that ultimately it's going to benefit him. The reason I support my wife, quite honestly, is I know if she's happier, then I'm going to be happy. There's an expression, happy wife, happy life. Well, I always say, happy wife, happy husband. Unhappy wife, miserable husband. Okay? So it's a matter of really supporting that other person so that they can be a better them, which ultimately is going to filter down to you. And the third is that he loves you in spite of your stuff. Okay? We've all got stuff. And when your stuff is going on, he calls you on it. It's what I call to lovingly confront someone, loving confrontation. Okay? Most of us don't like confrontation, but sometimes our partners see where we're messing up, see where we're holding back, see where we're not holding our end of the bargain. One of the reasons I love Natalie is, and she's gotten really good at this, she had a little problem in the beginning, but when I'm being a jerk, she'll call me on it. If I'm stepping up or if I'm going down a path that she knows isn't right because, I get so focused and want to do something, she'll sit back and she'll say, I don't think that's right. All right, you really want to look into that. And then we have this conversation about it. And it's one of the reasons our marriage is so strong, is because you have to be able to lovingly confront someone and call them on their stuff, because sometimes we're so close to it, we don't even see it. So you might want to go back and watch this video again today. But this is really important. If you're going to have a great relationship, you're going to have to pick someone who supports you in your life, that supports your growth. And you need to do the exact same thing for him. Because if you don't, ultimately that's going to be a problem. And this is the reason so many marriages and relationships fail, is most people don't even realize this. They think, oh, it's just about getting the person. It's about this chemistry. It's about this great guy. It's about amazing sex. It's about, having someone who's financially independent, and that stuff is all important, but those are only little pieces of the pie. If you're not growing together, you're not growing as an individual and you're not growing as a couple, that relationship is ultimately going to fail. So GPS for Love is all about helping you succeed and create that relationship you desire and deserve. So I want you to take a little mirror time, and I want you to look back over your previous relationships. Where were you not getting the support? Where was your growth not being encouraged? Or did a relationship fail because you stopped growing as individuals or couples? Or were you with a guy and he didn't grow? He just took life for granted. He didn't have any motivation. He stopped putting the time and effort into the relationship. So take that mirror time and then post your answers down below. And the reason we post the answers down below is because we're all on this journey together. And when you see that other people go through the same things, it kind of takes this pressure off. I'm not the only one who goes through this. Oh, I feel so much better. So go ahead, take that mirror time, and then post your answers down below. I'll see you next time. Much love.